All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. How you doing today? How are those resolutions going for you? This is how these podcasts are going to start because I'm trying to remind you that by taking action every day, anything you want to do, you can do. So keep that in mind. I'm still alcohol free, still working out, still not eating between meals. I haven't jumped on the scale. I don't think I'm going to jump on the scale in a while because that's kind of defeating for me. Obviously, you can tell I'm a beast, so I got all kinds of muscle on me. So I'm just going to wait on that. All right, I'm going to wait a little while on that. So talking about waiting, let's go ahead and talk about something here. So we all have something in our head, something in our long-term plan that we're waiting on, right? I did. I worked 23 and a half years at the federal prison. And there was a point when I couldn't wait for retirement. I mean, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to retire. In fact, I had a retirement counter, and it counted down the days until I would retire. And it was cool as hell, right? But in December of 2015, the rule for retirement was that I was still going to have to wait until November of 2016. So I still basically had a year. Well, you got close to the end of 2015. Guess what? The government changed their rules, and instead of me having to be 55 when I retire, all it said was I have to be in my 55th year. Well, that means that January 1st of 2016, I was eligible for retirement. I didn't have to wait until November 2nd of 2016. Guess what? I didn't wait. And it caused some, kind of threw some wrenches in our plans because my wife was still planning on me going to work every day just like she was doing, and I retired 18 months before she could, right? Ooh, kind of a scary situation there. But my logic for retiring when I was able to, when I had the option to, was in the back of my mind. I kept thinking that, what happens if I go ahead and I work until November of 2016, and then December of 2016, I get run over by a truck. I have a heart attack. I get diagnosed with cancer. And by the middle of 2017, it's all over. I'm done, right? I was worried I would have waited too long. Now, what was cool about this whole thing is that I didn't expect to retire when I did. And my wife, Sandy, ended up retiring early too, and she didn't expect it either. And I'm looking at this now, I'm thinking, ooh, this is a sign. This is a sign. Something in the universe said, you guys need to get out there early because, well, maybe so. My story, right? But actually, COVID showed up and the world shut down, and now here we are, middle of January of 2021. Don't know what the year is going to look like. I'm positive. I'm hoping it's going to work out real good for everyone. But I have a feeling there's going to be some struggles going on, right? But the cool part is because we didn't wait, because the universe handed us a gift to be able to retire way before either one of us thought we were going to be able to. We've been able to squeeze all kinds of living into the time between when we retired and when COVID-19 struck. And the cool part about that is when you don't wait to do amazing things in your life and you start getting engaged in those things, the full fuel and the energy that it gives you, the power it gives you in your life to want to do more is friggin' crazy amazing. It's nuts. Here we are. Look at I'm 59, been retired since 2016. I ain't going to tell you my wife's age, but she's been retired for nearly as long. And so we spend our days talking to each other about, okay, what's possible? What can we do? Where can we go? What other adventure can we have, right? If you have things in front of you that you dream of doing, if you have things sitting on your plate that you think to yourself on occasion, someday, screw that someday mentality, because someday risks waiting too long. If you wait someday, I'm going to retire. If retires your waiting too long, your someday thing, if it's that important to you, do it now. Just because you're not retired, it doesn't mean you can't be working towards retirement. Instead of spending money on coffee and beer, put it in the bank and start a 401k. Instead of hanging out on the weekends doing nothing because you're not that motivated, go get an extra job, and every penny you earn from that job goes into a secondary retirement fund. If you want to retire early, eliminate your debt. If you want to retire it early, put every penny you have into the things you currently have to get them paid off, and then take the money you earn after everything's paid off and that you have extra and dump it into your retirement fund. Imagine how quickly you could accumulate the money to retire if you didn't have any debt. See, I don't want to seem insensitive or morbid here, but let's just look at this past year. Pre-2020, 2019, life is going along. Everybody's thinking, I'm good. I don't mind having a 30-year mortgage because I'll pay it off and then life will be good. And then 2020 hit, and guess what happened? A whole lot of people waited too long. I don't think there's anyone in the world in 2019 who would think in 2020 that they would be dead or that someone they know will have died from COVID-19. And there's a good chance that a portion of those people had things they were waiting on, things they were going to do when the time was just right. When all the stars were lined up and they had everything they needed, right? Don't wait until you have everything you need to get started, because what happens if you wait too long? What happens if you're over there and you're thinking about how much you'd love to go fishing and how much fishing you're going to do when you retire in 10 years, but you only live to 8 years? You don't actually make it to 10 years. That's going to suck. See, that's why I believe in the principle of retirement by installment. Not to say that you should be irresponsible and buy whatever you want. I think that being fiscally responsible with your money is how you do it, right? It's how you get to retire on the go. Just because you work a full-time job, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be playing when you're not working. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be engaging in experiences and activities that retired people engage in. Here this week, I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but I was posting my previous podcast to Twitter, and I'm kind of scrolling. I see a post from Tim Ferriss. Now, Tim Ferriss is the author of The 4-Hour Workweek. I think the post said, and forgive me if I'm wrong on this because I have to look back, but the post basically said it had been 12 years since he wrote that book, and he's looking at it now, and it's back on the New York Times bestsellers list for books that people are downloading and reading, right? And I think there's a whole change in our culture kind of related to the same topic, where we're starting to look at our lives and how our lives are lived, and we're thinking, wait a minute, I can do way better than this. This is not an original idea. There are people who've lived their entire lives based on the idea of no matter what choice you make, ensure that it makes your life better. But in that Tim Ferriss thing, what it was is he's looking at that, and that book launched his career as an author. It really did, and it actually launched his life because the proceeds from that single book have funded his life. I'm sure of it. I know it. And I bet when he looks at that book, I bet he's glad that he didn't put that off. I bet he's glad that when he was doing all those other things that he had to do because of his debt and his obligations, I bet he looks at that book and he thinks to himself, my God, I'm glad I did that. He tells his girlfriend, his wife, his partner, whoever he shares his life with, wow, yeah, that's how you do it. And you know how he started? Just like this. Just like you're getting ready to. Just like you're getting ready to with that idea you have, that thing that you keep putting off because the time isn't right. The time will never be right. And God forbid you wait another year, this COVID thing dies down, and then you're rolling along and you're doing your thing and you're still waiting. And then some other ugliness comes along. The universe hands us some other pile of crap that wipes half of us out or wipes you out. And there you are as you take your last breath and you're thinking to myself, damn it, he was right. I waited too long. If you see it coming, run. Do it. Get it. Get it. Don't. You know what sucks is the kid. I remember the kid. I hated playing with other kids because I was such a loner, right? I didn't know any organized sports, didn't know the rules, didn't know how to play games. So I'd hang out on the sidelines and kind of avoid being involved in any of that. I wasn't comfortable, didn't like it, right? And on those certain occasions, I would actually go ahead and get pushed into doing something, and it'd be like half over or three-quarters of the way over before we were out of time, right? In a gymnasium at school or something like that, right? And I'm getting into it, I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it, it's cool, but it's over before I get a chance to actually get into it because I waited too long. This is what you face. If you got ideas in your head, if you have dreams still cooking, and God, I hope you do, if you have dreams cooking in your head, if you have ideas about the direction you want your life to go in, don't wait another second to make that happen. Do it now. Because in another second, you might not be here. It might take, wouldn't it suck if it takes 6 years for my podcast to kick off? That's the timeline for the universe for me to actually achieve what I'm trying to do here. And because I should have started my podcast a year sooner, it hits 5 years, I drop off the face of the earth and it never happens. That's going to piss me off, all right? It is. And granted, someone's waiting. There's someone right now, you're listening to this, you're like, I'm not, bullshit. No, bullshit, right? Yeah, you know why people are saying that isn't because what I'm saying isn't true. It's because we don't want to believe that our demise could be right around the corner. No one who wants to think, oh, I'm going to die in a week, a month, or a year. In the back of our mind, most of us don't think about it, and for those of us who do, oh, I got plenty of time. I'm telling you, this podcast had to go when it went because I'm 59 years old, and if I'm lucky, I have 15, 16 years left. I'm not really looking to live past 75. Maybe I'll be lucky enough to have that happen. I'm not counting on it. That's why I'm pushing so hard on everything I do right now. The book is getting done. By the way, let me just bring that up. The RV Survival Guide is almost done. I'm on the last rewrite. It's looking good. Just so you know, I understand now why everyone doesn't write a book. People don't write books because writing books, it's tough. It's tough to sit down every day and grind it out. It's tough to sit down every day amid all the other wonderful things you can do and run your editor and read and check and read and check. But I didn't want to wait too long. Look at this thing out there. Hell, it's going to be a New York Times bestseller. I'm counting on it, right? Where else do you find the motivation for you to continue to sit down and grind it out, right? It's like eating rocks almost sometimes. It's in the story. And I'm not going to wait too long. Gee, I can't wait. People be like, oh, can you believe he did it? And I'll be like, yeah, that's right, I did it. What dreams you got cooking right now? Let's go there. What dreams you got cooking? What ideas do you have in your head for the future? If you don't have any, get with that best friend of yours, get with your partner, get with the person you share your life with, and start having a conversation about what you can do right now to enhance your life, to bring you closer to those things that you're waiting on. Because I would not be waiting. If COVID-19 didn't teach us anything, it taught us that there is no predictability in life, and if you're going to do it, you do it now, right? So get with your partner, get with your friend, get in your head, spend some time listening to some meditation music, or maybe just quiet, and think about what you can do to start making the things you're waiting on happen now. Because just like so many people this year, there's a chance that if you just keep going the way you're going, and you don't take those steps towards winning, you might just wait too long. God, I don't know. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep rolling on, keep showing up every day. I really appreciate you guys showing up every day. I don't know. YouTube channel, for some reason, is starting to pick up some traffic. I'm not sure what the secret is. I don't understand all this stuff. And to be honest with you, I don't have time to try and figure it all out. I will continue to show up here on the podcast. I will definitely let you know when that book is finished. Hopefully, I'll get some support on it. If you're interested in what I'm doing, or you think what I'm doing is worthwhile, or you appreciate it, do me a favor and hit the share button. Talk to your friends about it. Talk about what I'm doing here, what my goal is, and don't Don't forget the kindness. Don't forget to wake up every day with a kind heart. Look for reasons to be excited about the things you're able to do, about the opportunities in front of you, and then go after those opportunities, because the last thing you want to do is wait too long. So keep that in mind. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.